A glimpse beyond, the story of Pam Reynolds. Pam Reynolds lay still on the operating table. Doctors prepared for a risky brain surgery. Her body was cold, her brain activity silent. She was in a state of clinical death. Then, something extraordinary happened. Pam later described floating above her body. She watched the surgery. This was a classic near-death experience, or NDE. They speak of bright lights, feelings of peace, and encounters with loved ones. They raise questions about life, death, and what lies beyond. NDEs offer a compelling window into the mysteries of consciousness. Defining the crossroads clinical death and near-death experiences. Clinical death is a specific medical term. It occurs when the heart stops beating and breathing ceases. The brain, deprived of oxygen, also stops functioning. This state, once irreversible, can now sometimes be reversed with medical intervention. Near-death experiences, or NDEs, are different. They are profound subjective experiences. They occur during events like cardiac arrest or near-fatal accidents. People in this state are close to death, yet they often report vivid and unusual experiences. NDEs are surprisingly common. Studies suggest millions have had them, yet the exact cause and meaning remain a mystery. These experiences transcend cultural and religious boundaries. They are reported by people from all walks of life. While the medical community recognizes clinical death, NDEs pose a challenge. They hint at the possibility of consciousness existing beyond the physical body. This challenges traditional scientific views of the mind-brain connection. Echoes from the Edge real accounts of NDEs. The narratives of NDEs are as diverse as the individuals who experience them. Each story offers a unique glimpse into the uncharted territory of human consciousness. One such account comes from a young boy named Ben. Involved in a near-drowning accident, Ben fell into a coma. He described a profound experience in a field of flowers. There he encountered his deceased grandfather. This experience left a lasting impact on Ben. Another story is that of a woman named Maria. During a heart attack, Maria felt herself being pulled through a dark tunnel. At the end, a brilliant light awaited. This light radiated love and acceptance. These anecdotes share striking similarities. The tunnel of light, the feeling of peace, and the presence of deceased loved ones are recurring motifs. These commonalities suggest a possible universal experience associated with the dying brain. The light, the tunnel, and the familiar faces. Despite the uniqueness of each NDE, certain themes consistently emerge. The tunnel of light is a classic element. Many describe a journey through a dark passageway. At the end, a bright, welcoming light appears. This light is often associated with feelings of peace, love, and acceptance. Some describe it as a being of light or a higher power. Out-of-body experiences are also common. Individuals report observing their own lifeless bodies. They describe witnessing events from a detached perspective. Often they encounter deceased loved ones during their NDEs. These encounters are comforting and reassuring. They reinforce the feeling that death is not the end. The life review is another recurring theme. People describe seeing their lives flash before them. They relive both positive and negative experiences. This review is not judgmental. Instead, it offers a chance for reflection and understanding. These common themes suggest that NDEs, though individual experiences, may share a neurological basis. The dying brain, starved of oxygen, could be creating these vivid and meaningful hallucinations. Section 5. The Science of the Soul, Exploring Possible Explanations. The scientific community approaches near-death experiences with curiosity and caution. Explaining them within current scientific understanding is a formidable challenge. Researchers propose hypotheses from physiological changes to psychological responses. One theory centers on neurochemicals released during extreme stress. Chemicals like endorphins and DMT could trigger vivid hallucinations. Another hypothesis points to oxygen deprivation causing erratic neural activity. This could lead to unusual sensory and cognitive disturbances. Despite these theories, a complete explanation remains elusive. Section 6. The Brain's Last Symphony, Neurological Perspectives. Neurologists propose that near-death experiences are the brain's response to extreme physiological stress. During cardiac arrest, the brain is deprived of oxygen, leading to unusual sensory experiences. The visual cortex may misfire, creating the illusion of a bright light. The feeling of peace could be due to the release of endorphins. Out-of-body experiences may be linked to dysfunction in the temporoparietal junction. Neurological explanations offer insights but can't fully explain near-death experiences. Section 7. The Mind's Defense, Psychological Interpretations. Psychologists offer a different perspective on near-death experiences. They suggest these experiences might be the mind's way of coping with the trauma of facing death. The brain, facing its own mortality, might create a comforting narrative to alleviate fear and anxiety. This psychological defense mechanism could explain the feelings of peace, the encounters with loved ones, and the sense of being surrounded by light. The life review, often described as a non-judgmental replay of one's actions, could be another coping mechanism. It allows individuals to find meaning and make peace with their past. This psychological interpretation suggests that near-death experiences, while not necessarily proof of an afterlife, hold significant psychological value. They allow individuals to process the profound experience of confronting their own mortality. However, critics argue that this explanation fails to account for the consistency of near-death experience narratives across cultures and belief systems. The shared elements, such as the tunnel of light and encounters with deceased relatives, suggest a deeper, possibly universal phenomenon at play. Section 8. Culture and the Afterlife. Variations in NDEs. While common themes run through near-death experience accounts, cultural and religious backgrounds can influence the specific details. For instance, in Western cultures, the being of light is often interpreted as a Christian figure like Jesus or an angel. In Eastern cultures, individuals might describe encountering deities like Yama, the god of death in Hinduism, or Buddha. These cultural variations suggest that our pre-existing beliefs and expectations shape our interpretations of these profound experiences. The afterlife we envision during a near-death experience may reflect the religious and cultural narratives we have internalized throughout our lives. This cultural lens does not diminish the significance of near-death experiences. Instead, it highlights the complex interplay between our personal beliefs, cultural conditioning, and the universal experience of facing death. Further research into these cultural nuances could provide valuable insights into the nature of consciousness and the human experience of dying. Section 9. The Skeptic's View. Debunking the Unexplained. Despite the compelling nature of near-death experience accounts, skeptics urge caution. They argue that these experiences, while powerful, can be explained by natural phenomena. They point to the subjective nature of near-death experiences and the difficulty in verifying these accounts. Skeptics highlight the role of medications, anesthesia, and oxygen deprivation in altering brain function. They argue that these physiological factors could trigger hallucinations and out-of-body experiences, mimicking the characteristics of near-death experiences. The consistency of certain elements across different near-death experiences, skeptics contend, could be attributed to the similar ways in which the brain responds to trauma and oxygen deprivation. The tunnel of light, for example, could be explained by the brain's visual cortex shutting down, creating a shrinking field of vision. While skeptical viewpoints are essential for critical analysis, they often struggle to fully address the emotional depth, transformative impact, and specific details reported in many near-death experience accounts. The challenge for scientific inquiry is to remain both objective and open-minded when exploring phenomena that push the boundaries of current understanding. Section 10. The Search for Answers. The Importance of Continued Research. The debate surrounding near-death experiences highlights the limitations of our current scientific understanding. More research is crucial to unraveling the mysteries of consciousness, especially at the edges of life and death. Neuroscience, psychology, and other disciplines must collaborate to develop rigorous methods for studying and understanding these profound experiences. New technologies, such as brain imaging techniques, offer promising avenues for investigating the neurological correlates of near-death experiences. By studying brain activity during cardiac arrest and resuscitation, researchers hope to identify the specific brain regions and neurochemicals involved in these experiences. Large-scale studies comparing near-death experience accounts across cultures, religions, and demographics could reveal universal patterns and shed light on the influence of personal beliefs and expectations. Ethical considerations are paramount in near-death experience research. Researchers must prioritize the well-being and autonomy of individuals who have experienced these often traumatic events. Sensitive and respectful approaches to data collection and interpretation are essential. Section 11. The Unanswered Question: What Lies Beyond? Near-death experiences, despite decades of research and countless personal accounts, remain an enigma. They challenge our understanding of consciousness, the brain, and the nature of reality itself. Whether these experiences are simply the brain's last gasps or glimpses into a realm beyond our current comprehension, they force us to confront the big questions. What happens when we die? Is there an afterlife? While science continues to search for answers, near-death experiences serve as powerful reminders of the mysteries that still surround us. They encourage us to approach life with a sense of wonder, to cherish our connections with others, and to ponder the vast unknown that lies beyond our earthly existence. The exploration of near-death experiences, both scientifically and personally, can be a journey of self-discovery, leading to a deeper understanding of ourselves, our place in the universe, and what truly matters in the grand scheme of things.